Hey, Crown Publishing content, followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video again today to see what it is I have to say. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Arthur Podcaster, Miss Tetta Sherry Whitney, and this is the hub where publishing and marketing content finally meet. You can learn more about who we are and my mission to assist independent writers and entrepreneurs in 2024 and just in general, when you visit my website soon, contentcrownpublications.com, you can also find some of my earlier works and book publications, poetry works, and just things that we're working on that side. At least give yourself a briefing about us. We love to. That's another thing I'm gonna start doing in 2024. I just want to network like I was doing. That sounds so vague, but I want to do that. So I'm telling y'all, Crown Publishing content, we're definitely going to make time and move around space and make time this year to make sure that we are networking. One of the first ways I'm already thinking is just putting the information out there, y'all. Like I don't know. I'm ready to get on podcasts too that interview entrepreneurs and authors and stuff as well, so that the people can get a more real personal, feel about who it is that I am and where my inspiration comes from and all that type of good stuff too. So I think that's great. But I came back with another relationship topic. I want to apologize to you guys out there because I just went back and listened to that last stream, and oh boy, like the sound quality was just. I'm gonna tell y'all why I was shocked. I have no reason to make this up. I was shocked about the sound quality because literally I was using a new microphone on the last. These type of things you get used to them when you're me, because something it's just not right until it gets worse first, or you have to have some type of crazy experience before it gets better. So like that last stream was definitely one of those because I recorded for like almost 2 hours and the sound quality is just awful. And I'm not saying it couldn't have been more than the microphone, but I'm saying that's a whole real fact about it. I'm using this same brand new microphone this time. I'm sure this sounds better because there's a few things I checked. I'm hoping that this one sounds a lot better than the last one did. When somebody comes on here with me, a live guest or something, I'm gonna have to ask somebody out there, can y'all hear me okay? But yeah, I'm back with another Valentine segment, Valentine topic for the Valentine season or the Valentine holiday in 2024. Didn't it approach us all quick? Maybe you're the type of person that says I don't believe in Valentine that much. If you're an American citizen, it doesn't matter. You know what Valentine's Day is. You know what people usually tend to expect and what to expect when Valentine's Day comes around in America. I'm saying that in a funny way, but American culture or American culture, dating culture, is a real thing. How we perceive things and how we do things over here, what we accept, what we don't accept, what's the norm, what's outrageous to us, is a whole thing. And that's why this topic, this Valentine Day segment title was going to be. I hope y'all can hear me better on here though. For real, for real, for real. This was a brand new microphone that I used on the last one. I'm not kidding. That's my business. I never announce anything like that, that I got a new microphone. I'm only saying it live on here today at the beginning of this stream because that's, to show you guys I do care about my work. Or what, I am so sorry the last stream sounded like that. Because there was a brand new microphone plugged up. Once again, it can always be more than the microphone when you're having like tech issues, but this particular thing was that. I've done something here. That's why I'm thinking that this probably sounds better this time around. Let me make sure the volume and everything, because otherwise you're just giving a bunch of good knowledge for no reason. Nobody heard it. That's what I feel like. That's what they made me feel like when I saw that, how they sounded on the last stream. So, anyways, yeah, today's topic, another Valentine Day topic for the holiday season. And we're not better biddies. We're not Karens or bitter Betties, is what I meant to call it. Y'all probably never heard of that term before, huh? We just want to talk good topics for this time of year, actually. We already know, like I said, what people expect and what to expect every Valentine's Day season. What people expect, let's talk about it. If they're in a relationship, a part of American culture, dating, society, culture, it's a time of year that you most definitely might choose to set aside and take time out after work, out of your work schedule or whatever, and do something special for your significant other on Valentine's Day. Now, usually it would be reserved for your significant other or something, but some people get even more creative with it. They get even more expansive with their love. They extend their love to the homeless. They extend their love to a friend or a family member who they know might not have a quote unquote Valentine. So our question at Crown Publishing Content today is, with this video discussion topic, and feel free to join in the chat or in the live at your discretion. You can be as open and as comfortable as you'd like to be when you come over here and talk on a topic that we're discussing. But how long is the technical, is the what is the greatest time length to put on it? What is the greatest time length or time stamp in the new era for how long you should date a person before you guys go to bed together? That's the cleanest way I can put it. Before you indulge in any type of sexual intercourse with another mate or with another partner, how long, what is the technical definition? Okay, what is the better answer when we are teaching our youth and when we claim we have sexual education classes out here and advocates and all of this, but really, what is the true definition? What is the best time frame that you should get to test and get to know a person? I know it sounds like a vague question. I know, but y'all have to let me get the question out and hear where I'm coming from. Everything I said this at the beginning of all my streams. That I state on here today is just my comments, visions, viewpoints, expressions, and views. Nobody has to agree, or this is not to target anybody. These are topics that we hope to spark interest in more of a, like topics anybody can relate to or might have a answer for or opinion about. Okay. And then if there is a certain time frame that we should date a man or a woman before we go there with them, where did that time frame come from? I'm not even being funny. Like, if somebody say 6 to 9 months, why would you say 6 to 9 months is how long you should date a person before you go there with them? I would definitely want to hear the person's logic just as much as I would want to hear the person's logic who says it doesn't matter at all how long you date a person. I think this is a great topic. It's not a new topic, of course. we've heard many other TV show talk hosts, podcasters, and radio talk show hosts probably ask the same question. Like, what's the typical time frame of dating somebody before you say, you know what? Is it just about them deserving? Is it more of when they deserve it, or when you just say, I mean, because to deserve something is a whole thing, okay? Because everybody doesn't deserve. People know it. Deserve is not a word people throw around every day unless you start to talk about romance and love for some reason, but it shouldn't be like that. We are all, in my opinion, on the face of this earth, deserving of the just basic necessities of life, shelter and care and respect, just those basics. Now, the other things, if you earn more than the basics in life, who can be mad at you about that? You only oftentimes earn what you deserve, right? That's what the laws of karma and things like that is about. You earn what you deserve. What you deserve doesn't just find you and says you deserve this. You've earned what you deserve some type of way. Even if you end up with an abusive man, an abusive woman, you might say that's not fair. So you saying they earned that? They earn what they deserve. The only way you earn something is to work for it, and what you have placed your energy into is going to show, is going to reflect off of you. Therefore, yes, you earn whatever comes out of their relationship. It's what you invested in, right? It's what you chose to give your attention, your time, your energy to. This is my like opinion as a woman in the new era. When we talk about dating culture, Valentine's Day season, and how long is an appropriate time that you should even date or get to know a person before going to bed with them. Because oftentimes when the more traditional or religious people jump into the conversation and say that you shouldn't do this at all until you're married, people do have their arguments about that as well. They say, what if I wait this long and I practice abstinence with this person, and I mean we finally go there and I'm not even pleased in the bedroom. I'm not even satisfied a little bit. Like I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? So they say, what if, right? If we are asking these type of questions in the religious on the religious platforms and in the religious communities, we have a long way to go, my friend, because it's there first that faith is supposed to be practiced to begin with. Why would you give yourself anxiety about why you wouldn't want to practice a certain way of living? Because you're already considering the worst. You're already considering the what ifs. If you wouldn't do that about anything else in life, why would you do it about something like picking and ultimately choosing the best lifelong partner for you? Why would you do that? Freak yourself out about what could go wrong over and over again if you were to try something a certain way, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. Because yes, the more traditional and old time and just the way it was taught once again in the religious communities was that you just sex was that sacred, marriage was that sacred, you didn't go that far. You know what I'm saying, you just didn't go that far without being married. Now clearly the days we live in today, people have truly not only spoken highly spoken out what they feel about those old time teachings, they're also showing us. It's really sad when it actually shows that people just pretty much like had fun with something and discarded of it. Or if they could, they're showing us that if this were possible, this is what they would have done to love. Had fun with it, hoarded, tramped it out, and just threw it away. Because now this sounds like a vague question, but it's really a deep question. How long should a person really date a person before getting to know them in the new generation, in the new era? With the way that things are now and what's going on, you got so much being leaked and exposed on TikTok these days, right? So much being, what I'm saying? Things like a man takes a woman out on a date for the first time and she orders the highest thing on the menu, the most expensive. Let me not say highest because everybody doesn't understand that type of lingo, but she orders the most expensive thing she can. I don't know if it was the suit this brother had on, what kind of car he picked her up in that made her feel like he could afford the most expensive caviar on the menu. But it wasn't that. It was the principle he was stating in his TikTok story time, that it was the principle about it. It was the first date and you just don't order the most expensive thing on the menu. He just wanted to make an example out of that one day. He said, look at me, I'm a single guy, I'm out here trying to date. These are the type of things that men also go through in what you would call the dating culture of America today, trying to date westernized women. How can you get to point B? How can we even discuss bed or marriage and all of that later when men are already feeling used on the first date? Women will voice all day long how we feel used, right? There's so many ways for a woman to be used. Let's be honest about it. But when men are trying to tell us that where they have felt used and abused as well, are we listening to them? Because now this changes the answer to questions like this. How long we date, um, how long you should know a person. And I don't even think it's those questions that matter. It's more like, what should you know about a person? How soon should you know these things about a person? Y'all get where I'm coming from? I would feel like those are the more healthier questions when it comes to the best thing to do before you're in bed with somebody. I mean, let's be honest about it. People think you're being dramatic when you say you're ready to get to the point of your life where the only way you communicate with people is NDA contracts, them willing to not talk to anybody else about what y'all talk about. Like, because some of us, it's not about wanting to be bougie or just elevating life. You literally are considering doing these things just for the sake of a more peaceful life, less attention, less paparazzi, less spying or whatever, because you can never stop those things from going on. But I do feel like you can always, like, um, I don't want to say boundaries. You can even clip a lot of what you feel like you got going on, clip it completely out just by the decisions you begin to make, the way that you begin to protect yourself. I'm gonna say at the end of the day, agreements only, contracts only, you know what I'm saying? Appointments only, bookings only type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? Just because you not only want to, you don't need, you mean it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You deserve it. You know that this is what you want, but you're ready to prove it to the world. So you begin to get on that level where if it's not a contract, a booking, a reservation, like, you don't even have time to conversate about it with it. Boom. So everybody's story different. We don't know how people get to the levels that they're on or why they have to live a certain way. Assistance answering your phone. I've already, like, considered these things because, yeah, it's a whole real reason why people play with you when they think you're like them. They're kind and they think they can play with you. But if you on a level where it ain't just you, like, hello, like everybody else, when you answer your phone, it's an assistant every time. It's a answering machine after a certain hour. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You can only be accessed if more women would change the route and delivery of accesses into their hearts, into, before we're even talking about into their bodies, which into their bodies has to be discussed, because this is the way that the world is repopulated. This is how so many broken homes actually exist right now. Us not talking about it, us not talking more about how long we should really date or get to know a person before even giving them ourselves. We talk about this as women on Valentine's Day because it matters. Your your Valentine this year could have very well been somebody else's Valentine 5, 10 years ago. Might be somebody else's Valentine 5, 10 years from later. Isn't that funny how life works? That's why I don't choose to get deep into the mechanics of Valentine's Day and what I think it should be or what I should expect, and that I need to go spoil myself on that day of the year. Like on that day, like God forbid I miss any other day of self care for myself throughout my life or the year, every year. But on Valentine's Day, that's why I say I don't get deep into the mechanics about it. If I wasn't doing that with myself any other day of the year, why would I go extra spoil myself because it's Valentine's Day to prove a point to myself that I love myself and and post pictures about it on social media so people are convinced that I love myself too. If I do choose to go spoil myself on Valentine's Day, it's not even like, if people never knew I did it, I'd still be okay. I still love myself. That's my point. How I do believe the level of access that we allow things in our life. I thought it was more complicated actually than what it is. It's actually that. It's not that you're putting up certain boundaries up against one or two people or army. You're just simply putting up boundaries to anything that's not you. That doesn't have more boundaries. Once again, changing the avenues and routes and directions of how you can be accessed. If you're too easily accessible, I learned the hard way, huh? Your dating life's gonna be all over. You know what I'm saying? If you really call yourself truly looking for love and stuff like this, and you are too easily accessible, it's not gonna go well. You shouldn't always run to answer a call, a text right after you meet somebody. You just shouldn't stalk them on social media. It makes you look very desperate. If a person can always expect you to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, that's another way to describe easily accessible. They can easily assess your next thought, your next move, but you're wondering why you haven't found love yet. They're predicting that you won't even find it. You know what I'm saying? They're actually hoping that you don't find love before them. So why would a person be focused on whose time frame is best about when is best to lay down with somebody? I think we would more look at the who a person is, who a person is, who a person is. Unless you're just the type of person like that you are meeting up that day, that night. What that the whole conversation is just about hooking up, no strings attached, no relationship. This topic today is for those that are actually though claim to be looking for serious relationships or wondering why when we seek out serious relationships why we haven't found that one for us yet. Things to consider. Do we consider how long we are making, how long of a gap before we even jumping into the next situationship, guys? Before we're jumping into the next relationship, before we are putting ourselves, because we know just going to the bed can open up a whole nother can of worms of situationships, guys. I wouldn't care how people try. I know what hooking up is, but when people try to break it down to me, like how it's justifiable. Like that's where I have a problem. Like hooking up eventually still is kind of like a worm opening type of it has the potential. That's why it's dangerous. You sleeping with somebody you shouldn't have slept with one time can open up a just one time. One little sneaky link you think was just a hookup to you, or it was just a hookup to that person. That hookup has the power to emotionally damage somebody's trust issues if they had a man or a woman. Once again, how long, asking that question, how long is really safe to say it is that you should really wait or date before you go to bed with somebody in the new era? Happy Valentine's Day 2024 to you guys out there. Like, I feel like these conversations matter. Otherwise, you're just going through repeat cycles of Valentine's days, expecting the same result, expecting a different result, doing the same thing. If you never slow down in your own personal life and say, hey, are these red and green flags that I'm actually checking off the list? Or is this a checkerboard flag? Do I have the green light? Do I have, like, are you actually slowing down asking yourself those questions? That's when I feel like people actually more suffer over breakups because every breakup is looked at for the most part as a loss. When we begin to more calculate our losses, really, really, really calculate them. What do I mean? You can find yourself calculating a loss and learning that it was really a gain because you calculated. You calculated it exactly the way the numbers should have been input in the calculation. You'll look at a lot. That's why people be so messed up over breakups. I'm telling you, and it's hard. It makes them feel guilty sit there and claim, just like taxes or something, to sit there and claim a whole breakup, a whole separation, a whole divorce. Sit there and claim that that's a gain. Nobody wants to selfishly look at that and because it just feels selfish, just the way that it comes out. But it's actually not selfish. It's a higher way of it is. It's a higher way. It's a direction towards healing, first of all, to go ahead and accept when a breakup is prevalent, or go ahead and accept as soon as you can that a situation is not for you or that a person is not for you. Why would you prolong knowing something like that? That's my point. How long do you wait? How well, I guess that answers its own question. You remain as interested as you can for as long as you can remain interested, because I feel like something like interested is not something you can pretend, or you know what I'm saying, not for long. If you interested in a person, that is going to show. It's going to show. Now I feel like people, if you still at a place in your life where you cannot read the signs of a woman, whatever sex it is that you date, if you cannot read the signs and agree with me that you can very well feel the vibes and energy of somebody that's interested in you, you probably have still some shadow work to do before you're out here dating. Because you don't want to even get yourself mixed up and confused in a spider web like that. Like, you can't even decipher when a person is interested in you or not, because the knot matters too. Somebody could very well, I just say you can't pretend long, but people do pretend to be interested. And it's going to matter if you're able to tell or not whether a person is pretending to be interested or actually interested in you. I believe that matters. If you cannot see that, it's probably easy to see from the outside in on somebody else's life. We're not talking about that though. We're talking about when somebody is interested or not in you. How long do you need to we're not talking about exes from the past, brand new people you meet. You're going on brand new dates with. How long should you date them before how long should you take to even be willing to be invested in their story and their life and getting to know them? I guess this topic, once again, this conversation, this question is for those that have actually had experience on the dating journey or have actually dated for more committed and personal pleasures. This conversation is for you. How long should you really date before even considering going to bed with somebody? Yes, the times and generation that we live in today, there is no discussion or topic about it anymore. It's like if a person feels sexually attracted to you, they feel like, that's what earns them. What deserve, earn, that stuff went out the window. It's like, I'm sexually attracted to you. What more else do I need? That's the direction the world is going. Not how many dates and how many more dates can I take you on? How much more can I get to know about this young man or woman? Everybody, it's, I'm telling y'all, it all goes back to control. It all goes back to people's real life addiction and this new energy, this new trend of wanting to look powerful in control, in the most control of their lives and of the people in their lives. You know what I mean? I feel like I love and I love those that love me, and I always want love. It makes me a better person. But if that love gets to the point where it's smothering, it's controlling, it wants everything about me. It wants everybody to know that I'm right under its thumb and shit like that. Like, it won't feel like love anymore. For people to want to have sex with the next person as quick as they do today, because the porn business, let's be honest, sex trafficking, all of that stuff wouldn't exist if people didn't have a real problem, like a real addiction, a real fix for something like sex to begin with. But now here you just have the normal, common, most level-headed people you can have that just hope to find the woman or man for them in their country, in their community, in their city, and they want to know how long should they, with things changing as rapidly as they are across the globe, and when it comes to dating culture, people's trust issues and technology and social media affecting uh, dating culture as we know it. If a person wanted to just fly a stranger out to another country right now, they could jump on a everyday social media app and probably find that. I don't know if that's scary or not, but it's already happening. We still ask, isn't it respectable to, wait, get to know a person? You give our future children more of a chance to probably be raised with the whole family dynamic before we can blame the government, blame this, blame the prison system, blame all these things for why we don't have fathers in the homes. Could we first answer questions like how long is an appropriate period to wait before you are actually indulging in sex with another person? And yes, the man's job is to kind of try to get you there. Not saying every man is a forceful predator, but their job, you're the one as a woman, if you're married or if you're committed or if you're single, if you're gay, if you're not, if you're ready to mingle, you're just mingling or you're looking for something serious, only you know that. And until you communicate that, a man has no problem showing you what he prefer to do with you, because you don't even know your state, you don't know where you stand. You say that you hope that you find something serious. Well, if you're looking for something serious, you definitely have to be willing to take the time out, have a time frame from how willing you're how long you're willing to put into getting to know a man to begin with. When you go on dates, what is your motive and intention of being on a date? Is it just to get to meet new people? See, some people don't even know that this world exists. This world called options, okay? options is not always a matter of different individual people you can count on your hand that you can call. Options is that your ability to think outside of what you've been given, outside of what you've been known, remembering that you have options. What better way do you describe options? But I feel like people, when they talk about relationships and love, the way I'm talking about it today, they don't go as deep and break down what an option really is. That nobody ever goes that deep and break, people just throw that term around. Oh, I got options or options. Nobody ever takes the time, if you think about it, to break down what option is. Um, you simply remembering that, okay, I do have the option to just be single and mingling. I do have the option to only want to get to know new people and know that I've made up in my mind that I'm not here for anything else but to get to know new people. Doesn't that sound lovely, guys? Open up your minds and hearts this Valentine's Day season and just think about what Crown Publishing Content is trying to say to you today. There was a song called "Put a Little Love in Your Heart." Isn't it funny? Even there's a whole story called Beauty and the Beast. Love is one of those things that even villains. Let me try to find a good example. Villains, y'all, like that blue guy with the fire on top of his head in the movie, was it Hercules? Isn't it funny how even wherever he found it in his heart to believe this about himself, he believed this about himself, and he believed that even he deserved love. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the woman that he had such a strong hold on for so long, she ends up falling for somebody else, and his name was Hercules. See, it had nothing to do with how long she knew Hercules. You see what I'm saying? Y'all probably like, where's she going with this? It had nothing to do with that. That's a prime example of what I mean. It had nothing. She didn't know Hercules long, but look how they still. Yeah, I definitely believe that all that is real too, like love at first sight and all of that, because I believe Hades' little girlfriend who was just working for him on the dark side and hadn't found true love yet. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all about love. Love is one of those things that even a villain might feel like he deserve. Anybody could feel like they deserve love. They said, once again, I said this last night on another stream, but that the best things in life for free, and love is one of those things. People can talk about it different ways and say that now love is expensive, love costs a lot, love can make you come out of a lot. That is true. But love also falls in the category of one of those things that are the best in life that are free. It costs me nothing to like open a door for a stranger in the morning. Going when I go get some gas and open the door for an old person, it's a act. People might say an act of kindness, but an act of kindness is coming is acting out of an energy of love at the end of the day. So um how even villains, old time villains, even Joker, right? He had a girlfriend. He had some type of a companion. Joker has some type of companion. He's another, you had Batman and not Batman and Robin, but maybe Cat Lady or Batgirl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And even Beauty and the Beast and in movies like the Hulk. I don't know. I should say stories, right? Because these all started as comics and all this type of different things. But anybody could find love. Love is a very very powerful force. Like love is a very, let's not downplay that. Everybody knows it. That's why when your son gets his first girlfriend in the sixth or fifth grade, you're so excited for him. You helping him. It's like when a proud dad really steps up in his son's life and he's like really feeling proud because it's a man and son thing. And this is like a big monumental moment for your son to be, interested in ladies and things like this. It would make you very proud. I hope that y'all can hear me better on this stream. That is so embarrassing. I unmuted it at the wrong second, but I hope that y'all can hear me better on this stream. Once again, I told y'all just the funniest things be happening in my life. And I am gonna give more personal stories. That's why I'm finna start becoming a guest on other people's podcasts and just telling more of about who I am and what it's like to live my life, I guess, where people have more of that experience with me as my followers and supporters as well. As a new and upcoming author, guys, writer in general, I just believe that my name is going places in this tour. It might be happening late. Nobody told me to keep dreaming after the pandemic, after any setback in my life, but it's just something that I choose to keep doing. But I do hope that this microphone sounds better. This is a brand new mic, so I'm gonna be mad if I go back and listen to this and it don't. I already have been actively working on manifesting the days that we don't have any of these glitches. We have a strong team. We have a strong support system. We're helping to publish books, publish content, helping young artists and authors, and showing up to different events. Already manifesting those days ahead of me and before me. Definitely. And all I can do is manifest and dream big, right? To me, in some people's perception, it ends there, but it doesn't. Maybe the universe has its way of doing things a little more better than what you even felt like you were manifesting or what you even felt like, you deserve for yourself. And that matters too when you're getting to know other people, how they look at you. You might not think it does, but it pays you enough just to know and move forward with what you know. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to go on a second date with a person because you saw what you saw at point A at date one, be honest about that and don't go on a second date. This question wouldn't apply to you like how many dates do you need to go on before this is for the people that liked first date, second date, third date. Now they want to know how long should I date this person before I sleep with them. Yeah, this topic is more for people in that stance, in that part of the relationship world, and that on that level of dating and the dating culture these days, right? I just don't have enough people tuned in with me right now, but I know it's some people that's done, probably went there the first night and they ended up husband and wife forever. Then you got those that did wait and they weren't even satisfied. It's those type of things that people do for, and we can understand why anybody living this human experience would rather avoid that, right? So they feel like, no, I need to at least test speed this thing. I need to like see what it's going to be before I even consider committing. Nobody ever said that's the right way to think about it or look at it though. You shouldn't even be trying to get to know a person for that. Otherwise, what does that make you? And there's nothing wrong if you do go there and get it, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with showing that it was enjoyable to you. It's or that you're even willing to go there again. But I feel like it is important for both parties to make clear like what is going on, what is happening, how you two even go that deep and talk about that, how you two can be greatly affected if any outcomes had to be any outcomes. You see what I'm saying? Because people be in relationships and have other things going on or weren't looking for anything serious. You got single people who just aren't looking for anything serious. In today's dating culture, they see a single woman and say, well, what happened, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It got to be something wrong with you. You are raising kids alone. And that's not just in today's time. People have always looked at the single mother as an alien. Forget the aliens that we think are visiting now. If you wanted an example of what an alien, how an alien is treated, what a response is to an actual alien most times, even if it's military and it's super intelligence, they're gonna have like a surprised look on their face. They're gonna have like a really shocked, like what is going on. That's how people look at single mothers for many, many years. And they still look at them like that today. They'll look at single mothers like this. This is the funny part about it. But see, apparently single mothers still get chose to be housewives, to be lifelong companions and things like this, and people know it. People know this because a lot of them had one, two, a lot of those same ones that look down on a single mother today had multiple children by other men or women before they were married themselves, and they'll still say they'll just still look down on a single mother. I don't know what it is about that. When people be knowing firsthand, maybe they needed to be reminded. If you know that you once or twice, whenever it was, you had children before you were married to the person because that's what it's really about. It's not even, children do matter. I'm not saying it's not about the children, but for the sake of what I'm trying to say, it's not even about the children. How many marriages, or it's not the children's fault. What marriage you end up in, boom, boom, boom. Like you might have a situation where you say, I want to work this out for the children, but it's never the children's fault, the children's decision. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with them. What you had to go through, what it was before you found your lifelong respectable companionship for you, partnership for you, and what was best for you and your kids. Now I'm saying you and your kids, but I'm saying for you too, because I can see how the kids never have anything to do with you being on some type of dating spree. You deciding you're going to put yourself back out on the dating field because you want little Jack to have a mom, or you want your kids to experience a stepdad for whatever reason people do. I would imagine it is first for them. You're not dating somebody for your kids. You are, but you see what I'm saying? We might as well talk about it like this, because when it doesn't work out, number one, those kids are affected too if they got to know the person that you are dating. And kids are affected as well if you don't work out, because people think they're safe with that. When I just said, they're like, oh yeah, that's not my situation. Well, kids are also affected parent don't, or they will never understand why you and they're just separated like that. Every kid deserves to see their parent together, but unfortunately, the way society is set up today, every kid cannot just like live and see and entertain both of their parents at the same time at any given time. Some kids do not have this privilege, and that shapes and molds a future as well in the way that it does. They don't have their mom or dad sitting right there or whatever. So once again, like I said, I don't see any problem with procreating or anything like that. I just feel like people definitely should have it more set in stone, or more practice this habit more, where we, if it's not the time frame that you are willing to invest to get to know people more before you're giving yourself away, most definitely knowing sooner than later whether you think, you know, I guess they would call it red flags. You would have to look for those, because the sooner you see, it's not looking for fault in somebody. I can see how this is different. I mean, because a person that's looking for fault, there's, it doesn't matter what the person try to do. You might as well not even be trying to date, because you're just always going to be looking for fault. Like you're going to find something wrong no matter what, no matter how clean cut the man is. What, you just gonna find fault. So to me, it's no reason. But if you're the type of person that you can, you know, the signs that you are looking for, because I advocate and say that the sooner that you can recognize that this person is not even close to a close companion to, this doesn't make this person an enemy. This doesn't make this person unworthy, maybe of your friendship, or maybe as a contact for a reference for a job in the future or something like that. They're just not a proper companion for like relationship or dating type situation. Why do people have to walk away from the table looking at each other like enemies when relationships don't work out? It's just a question Arthur Tedasheri has. Why do everybody have to throw the cards in the middle and say, you know, in both parties' last two words are fuck you? Like, why does it have to be like that? That's actually a blessing. That's a good thing. The sooner that you can recognize, see, decipher, agree as two different partners and companions, like, hey, we are not a good fit for each other. That is a beautiful thing. The reason I say the sooner you can come to an agreement like that, or see that, and make sure you know that, the sooner it just saves you time. Now the right person has the room and the energy and the time, the even the space to come towards you. If you're wasting time with somebody you already felt intuitively is just not the companion for you, then you're wasting your time. There's no other way to say it or put it. You're wasting your time. Why not trust your intuition more? They say a woman's intuition is very real and all it is. We got to start using that more then, ladies. The last segment we were talking about tattoos for Valentine's Day and what tattoos are supposed to mean. When people get tattoos, what are they trying to prove to their significant other? Does a tattoo keep a man? Just like they say a baby and all this other stuff doesn't. We believe the same thing about tattoos over here at Crown Publishing Content. And we were just talking about Krishan Rock as an example. So, anyways, back on this topic right here, regardless of if you wait or how long, it's deeper than a time frame. You know, you got to really break down this question that we're asking. How long is the appropriate time frame to wait before having sex when you're dating a person? How many dates do you go on? How long do you date a person? I say you don't look at how long, you look at the person themselves. What do you mean? That's what's going to tell you how soon or how long you need to wait. You need to see how mature a person is. You need to find out what their background is. Unfortunately, this is what we have to do now. People are whole coming here from other countries right now. What do y'all mean? And there's nothing wrong with looking off into somebody, finding out who they are, where they come from. Now, I wouldn't say that that's stalkerish behavior when you are in the phase or season of just getting to know somebody. And that season or phase could look longer than some months, 6 to 9 months, 3 to 6 months before you get in bed with somebody. It might take you 3 4 years before you feel like you're just comfortable enough to say that somebody knows you or that you know somebody. It could be years. Okay, so even if it ends up being years and now you say, you know what, I feel like I know you and trust you well enough where I want to make this relationship more serious or whatever. I could understand how that could go both ways. It's not just how long you know a person. Is this person compatible? Is this person compatible for you as a friend, as a coworker, as anything? If not, why are they in your energy or space to begin with? You would have to ask yourself that personally, in my opinion. Like, why would you go on date number two, three, four, five? Why would you even go as far as in the bed? And you're really assessing things the way you're supposed to be assessing them. You're checking out, only you know what you prefer, only you know what you're looking for. And I think what's happened more in the new era, in the new generation, is that people know what they're looking for. Some know how to let well enough be just well enough long. Some will go as far as, well, I want you to be what I want you to be to me so bad that I'm going to manipulate. Either you're going to give it to me willingly, or I'm going to manipulate you into what I would like to see you do for me. Isn't that funny, y'all? It can seem like a scary thing because it is, you know what I'm saying? But I could laugh at it, not just out of experience, seeing other women maybe experience similar things. Like, they wouldn't look at it that way, but that's practically the person's trying to do. And there's women that do it to men too, but like, it's like they have a sinister way of like, it's like, if I can't have you the way I want to have you, you're telling me you don't want to see me after date number three, or you're telling me after we done slept together, now you feeling inside, you don't want to see me no more. Maybe people feel like that sometimes. They feel like you're feeling like you don't want to see me no more, so, and I still want to see you. I still want to do something to cause it to where we have to see each other. That's how desperately I don't want to let you go. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's another reason on my list to be careful. You want to make sure that you get to know a person before you go there. Just having this segment right in time for Valentine's Day 2024. Today's date marks February 20, I'm sorry, February 11, 2024. So Valentine's Day is right around the corner. 3 days from now. Wouldn't you wouldn't you want to make sure that a person is, because I'm learning this about life too. And this can sound funny to whoever, however, but I'm learning that emotional intelligence, not just having emotional, like withholding this, having this for myself, being able to, you know what I'm saying, really truly study and weigh and judge the emotional intelligence of others. If you couldn't handle a small lollipop mentally, why? And I witnessed that. I witnessed that. Like, I saw how that small lollipop affected you. It would almost be like insane for me to turn around and give you a bigger lollipop, like the most giant size lollipop they have right after that. Just unless it was a planned experiment, which when we're dating, none of us should be experiments to one another. But it's really like insane to give you a bigger lollipop, and I saw how you responded to the smaller one. I saw that you weren't emotionally stable enough to handle a bigger lollipop than the one that I first offered. You see what I'm saying? Look at it that way when you're looking for relationship advice on the Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel. Look at it that way if you've never been told it that way. Sometimes we have to take the accountability for how we continue to enable and engage all these things that just kind of give power to a relationship that doesn't even serve us. A relationship that doesn't even, you know what I'm saying, edify our purpose in any way. This is how you are better able to get it. And need to be. Let them do what they want to do. In that time of you just getting to date somebody and meet them and know them, don't try to smother them and already give them the game plan and tell them how they better not play with you because you just don't play with women or you just don't play with men. And like, why even waste all that energy? No, sit back, be cool, enjoy them. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. If he likes you, he likes you. But when it comes to you getting to the level where you say, you know what, I want to really get to know this person better, and this person decides they want to get to know you better. Remember that too. People always think when they first get in a dating situation that they are the only ones studying the other person. Have you ever noticed that? Like, it usually seems really one sided. Like the woman, she's talking to all her friends about him, and he just looks like he's the happy go lucky independent guy who's just living his life and has a cool chick on his side now that he's dating, right? Like he might have some fellas he talks to too, but it usually looks one sided a lot. Like one party over judging, over critical of the other. You know, this is just the dating culture and things I've peeped. One that just might be like, girl, he's, and I notice he talks to the, you know, you can also find yourself getting too invested too fast. I would think as a man that's a turnoff. Like you already jump into what he could be lying about, and that definitely shows trust issues. I think men just settle when they put up with women like that, no matter how beautiful the woman is. Nobody wants to hear how he's probably lying and he has hoes, and just even as a joke. Think about how you might sound to that man just saying that all the time. Like, I don't know. Because I feel like when you let a person be them and be comfortable, they're going to show that's going to come out anyway. That's the most truthful way to do it. Unless you are the type of person you're scared of the truth, get out of a person way, give them their space, give them their freedom, spoil them, make them feel at home. I wouldn't say you're being you're being manipulative. It's actually the best thing to do. You're practicing. It's an art of war. You're practicing peace for so long, or whatever you want to call it. Let that person be themselves, because you told yourself to begin with you want to really get to know the real them. You want to know them so you can know whether you can trust being in a relationship with them. Boom. If you really say that this is what you want to do, you should be willing to give a person their space. Let them text you when they feel like texting you. Let them call the first time sometimes. If they went to a party, fine. Ask how it was. Ask who they. If they tell you 10 girls sat on their left, tell them cool. That's what's up. But make sure your listening ears are open for sure. Make sure, because you being comfortable, being reserved, and letting that person be them while they still have access to your space, you are getting the intel 411 on who this person really is, not just who they're telling you they are, who they are, because they're feeling like, man, this person just lets me be myself. A person of true and golden character would not take advantage of something like that. Their self wouldn't already be a bad character, so it wouldn't be something that they even like. That would be something they're used to, people letting them be themselves. Therefore, they wouldn't look at it and take leisure in abusing or overstepping somebody because they're letting them be themselves. If they were to do that, that's when your blinkers need to be coming on, and hey, where are those boundaries? This person is not compatible. This person is showing signs of this, that, and the third. Now that I've let them be comfortable around me and shout out who they wanted to be, who they truly were to me, soon as I see something I don't like, I mean, what's wrong with blocking it out of my life? I think people hate and love that type of energy at the same time. Because a part of them understands why you didn't continue on that relationship, why you continue not to go on that second date, why you don't want to talk to them on the phone anymore, whatever. I feel like a part of people already be knowing why you're on what you're on. Um, but I still advocate for the fact that the sooner people know what's best for them, pertaining them and another person, and them to get an understanding about that, the sooner that people can truly receive what is best for them. What do you guys think about that? Leave your opinions in the comments. I didn't mean for this stream to be this long either. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this from my perception. And until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Leave your opinions in the comment. I'm going to come back more with more Valentine Day thoughts and topics for us to discuss on live. Okay, you guys have a happy weekend out there. Happy Sunday to you guys, and happy early Valentine's Day to you again from the Crown Publishing Content family.